Hey guys, it is Michelle, and today we are going to show you some of my palette collection. Sorry, it's a bit of a mess. Like, I did my makeup, all my stuff's all over the place, but I just wanted to start and show you some of them because I thought this would be fun. It's been a video I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I'm going to show you, I go through phases with my palettes and sometimes I'll switch them out, but I'll show you the ones that I'm currently using the most right now. The first one is by Melt Cosmetics. This is called Gemini, and this was gifted to me by my best friend. You can see I love this palette. Melt Cosmetics has some amazing palette colors. I want to get, I think it's called 420, the marijuana one, because the greens in there are just absolutely amazing. The only colors that I don't really like the only color I don't like using is this yellow. Yellows just don't look good on my skin tone, but the rest of this palette is absolutely amazing. The shimmers are gorgeous. The greens in here are phenomenal. It's just an amazing palette and really good quality. I think they're a little pricey, but it's so worth it. This palette, I love it because your girl's a Gemini. The next one that I'm currently using is the Urban Decay Honey. Urban Decay is one of my absolute favorites. We're going to go through palettes first, and then at some point I'll go through the rest of my makeup. But I thought palettes would be fun first. There's a lot here, guys. This one is the Urban Decay Honey. This was a Christmas present from Joey last year. Yes. And I've been going into it a little bit. You really can't tell all that much, but I have used some of them. I love the golds, the shimmers. I love the formula of Urban Decay. It's one of my absolute favorites. This and Jeffree Star. I mean, you'll see my collection. There's a lot of Jeffree, but that's okay. Next is the Norvina by Anastasia Beverly Hills. Joey got me this one for Christmas too. Was it last year? The year before? I don't remember. But I've been all about the shimmer row. I actually got some on today. Beautiful palette. I didn't like Soul over here, this lavender. It's not very pigmented. It's very, very sheer. But that's nor here nor there. The rest of the palette is pretty good. Again, this palette, I'm more about the shimmers in it than anything else. My only downside, and they've gotten away from it from what I've seen, is that they're velvet, the Anastasia ones. I hate that because no matter what you do, I mean, you can see there's like marks on it. Well, maybe not so much on this one, but my Modern Renaissance was just a hot mess when I was done with it. Velvet is just one of those things, it's gross. It gets gross really quickly, you know? So next I've been using the Mini O, because I don't think I could say that word on camera. But now this one, the one that I got, I think is the one that had problems with formula. I ordered it from Beautylish, so they didn't send any replacements or anything. But the colors aren't bad. Like, you can see Foam Party, Frozen Fire, and Glass Wet. They're all kind of like, you can see they got this weird, well, let me just tap it. They got this weird, like, bubbling effect to it. Maybe you can't really tell. I don't know. I like the palette. I like the colors. I'm trying to use those ones, even though I think there's something wrong with the formula. They're not that great. Those three, although, I don't know. These kinds of blazing shimmers never really, it doesn't matter who makes it. I don't think they work out so well. The rest of the palette's great. It's just these two that I've tried that are subpar, that they're flaky and kind of gross. But they had problems with their first run anyway, so I can't blame it on that. So those are the current palettes that I'm using. I do got like little singles and stuff like that, but we'll talk about that another time. Next, I'm going to show you these three. I like keeping my palettes in their boxes. Now, I still have O's box. The only one I don't think I have, right, the ones I showed you, is Gemini. I'm pretty sure I got rid of that box. But I tend to hang on to the boxes just because I do. My best friend just got me these. I think you've seen them. So this is ColourPop called Melt For You. Pretty pink palette. This is going to probably be in parts because there are a lot. Like, there's palettes here, here, and here, guys. Like, there's a lot of palettes. Truth be told, I do have, you guys know I love Jeffree Star's products. And a lot of his palettes are pretty big. This one is called 143. I can't wait to use this one. I haven't used it yet. I'm normally iffy with certain color pinks, but like that bright neon pink is calling my name. Yellows don't look good on my skin tone. And like, I'm iffy with pinks, but I mean, I like doing reds and browns, so we'll see. And this is Swack. I mean, sealed with a kiss. This was probably my favorite out of the 3 that she gave me. Oh, look at that. Hello, I love the reds. Now, most recent, oh, get in there. Most recent, I got the Blood Sugar Mini. And honestly, did I need this palette? No. Look at that though, pretty. I wanted it for the one color that he doesn't have elsewhere. I would have loved, watch Wisdom come out like as a single like they did for the Conspiracy. But all these colors are great. I will use this palette because the colors are very, he said they're the most popular ones from his palette. I can see why. I have used the Blood Sugar palette before, and these colors that are in here I have used, and they're really, really awesome. But I wanted Wisdom, I'll be honest. That's the main reason why I bought the mini. If it had just been, he does that intentionally. Let's be real here. He knows. Because once I saw it swatched when he did his video, I was like, just take my money. Just take it. So I'm going to stand up, guys, while I go into this drawer up here. So I'm just going to be pulling out the stuff that's not eyeshadow palettes, because there are some other things in here that aren't. Next is Alien. I believe this one has been discontinued. I don't think he brought this back. Thirsty he brought back, though. I love this palette. It's got a, I'm sure some of you would be like, that's scary. The colors aren't. I love UFO, Alien, like the shimmers in this palette are absolutely amazing. I love them. Absolutely amazing. These, I'll be saying amazing a lot. Guys, the shimmers are my go-to. I'm not really a matte girl. I use matte as like the base, but I'm all about those shimmers, as you can see. But this was a really, really good palette. And the only thing I don't like is that his eyeballs, they are, so I've had issues with like putting this palette away, but I don't have the box for him anymore. How unique is that though? I love that. Next is the one that started all. This is Beauty Killer. And I've used the heck out of this. I actually put it down for a minute because, it's a mess, hold on. Because I was just getting bored with it. So here it is. You can see that Rich B is my favorite in this one. Confession is my second favorite. Great palette. I use this as a base. So the colors are kind of crazy too. You got like the bright pink. I've used the pink a little bit, not too much. Everything else is great. And this sparkly black in the corner. You know what? I don't use black a lot when I do a smoky eye. I tend to just use, whatchamacallit? Browns or purples. I don't use black. Next is Androgyny. This was the second palette that he came out with. And I haven't used this one as often as Beauty Killer, obviously. I love the shimmers. My only complaint would be the mattes in this one. Maybe he fixed the formula, but I don't know. I like this one, I like this one. But when I used the blue and the green, I just wasn't impressed. Well, this one's kind of a greenish blue. I just wasn't impressed with these two colors. I don't know. Other than that, I did really like the palette. I like the snake skin. Next is Thirsty, and this one is the one that was brought back. I know, guys, you're gonna be like, how much Jeffree? There's a lot of Jeffree. I just love his quality. So with this one, when I told people, and I think he brought this back, this is the palette that I always recommended that people get if they were just trying to try them out. Like if you remove those 3 bottom, it's a pretty neutral palette. You can use like the pinks as blushes. This row is my absolute favorite. Oh, I absolutely love that one. I wish you would just do a palette of just the pressed pigment. I would love that. But this is a great palette. And I believe he did bring it back. So, if you want a Jeffree Star palette, I love them all. But for a starter, I would go with Thirsty because it's probably the more basic one. Joey just got me this one for Christmas. This is the Naked Urban Decay Ultraviolet. I heard people say bad things about this palette. I haven't gotten a chance to use it yet, but oh my gosh, those colors. How pretty. I love purples. This one, Lucid, I cannot wait to try it. It's got this like almost glow-in-the-dark look to it. I'm glad they're coming out with more purples. I'm hoping that we see a lot more hunter greens and jewel tones. I would love that. Next is, here's Blood Sugar. The original Blood Sugar. And I'm trying to do it without blinding you with the mirror. Very, very pretty. I love actually the color Blood Sugar. What else have I used in here? Actually, I haven't used this one as much as I thought I did. I've used that. I'm very picky, I guess. I like keeping them looking as pristine as possible, but then like when I finally get into using it, then I use the heck out of it. Here's another one that Joey got me. Joey likes to treat me to makeup. Oh, we're running out of time. Okay, guys. Oh no, it's not saying that we're out of time yet. Okay, so I'll just wait. So this one is the Urban Decay Cherry palette. Because I asked him when he asked me what I wanted for Christmas. I said either Urban Decay Cherry, but if it's sold out because it was new at the time, get the honey. And he got me both. I love him. I was like, you shouldn't have done that. This one's just like a mauve rosy color. I love that palette. How pretty is that? We're running out of time. I knew that was going to happen. Anyway, guys, we're going to stop here and I'll go into the next part. I'll be right back.